Big show ahead. We're talking about year two expectations for Geno Smith. Also, this team playing with a chip on their shoulder, something to prove. And what will Devon Witherspoon's role be in 2023? We have answers for you from Pete Carroll coming up on today's show. Let's start with Geno Smith as he enters year number two. Pete Carroll, in an interview this week with 710 Seattle Sports Radio, revealed his expectations for his Seahawks quarterback. And let's just say there's a lot of optimism for Geno Smith in his second year under center for Seattle. Pete Carroll saying this about Geno. I think the main thing that comes to mind is consistency. It was cute that he showed up and was waiting there, and he's all sweaty after his workout yesterday, and he wanted to know, okay, what do I need to do to get better? He's constant about that, and it is constant inconsistency that keeps showing up. I think that's what's going to be the key to this season. We're not asking him to do anything unique or special or out of the ordinary. We want him to just play the game like he knows how to play it. If he does that, then he's a great complement to the rest of the club. And that's 100% right. The thing the Seahawks need to see out of Geno Smith in 2023 is to see him play, and I put this in all caps for a reason in my take below, consistently at a high level for the entire season. Okay? This is something that the Seahawks need to see of him consistently taking care of the football, making smart decisions, and to be able to be trusted at any time. Because if we're being real with y'all, that's what we do here on Seahawks Today. We love Geno as much as anybody. But the truth of the matter is this. The beginning of the season compared to the end of last year was a stark difference. Okay? Look at that completion percentage in the first 8 games. Near 73%. Now, the last 9, it wasn't bad, but that was a near 5% fall off at 67.5%. Yardage went up, touchdowns went up, but the turnovers went way up from 3 to 8. Quarterback rating went down from 107 to 96. What the Seahawks need to see, that quarterback they saw in the first 8 games last year, that's got to stay. They need that quarterback all year long. Not the Geno we saw in the last 9 games. Not that he wasn't great, but be the guy that they paid him to be of what they saw in that first 8 games, and this Seattle team will be thrilled. More from Pete Carroll on Geno Smith. He led the NFL in completion percentage. He almost hit the 70% mark. That's what we've been shooting for all these years. If he can be somewhere in that area, then he will be giving us the kind of play that we need. And he looks great physically. He's really in great shape, and he's ready to go again. If Geno plays to his 2022 levels, his numbers are going to improve and get better just because the talent around him got better this season with adding in Jackson Smith and Jigba and Zach Charbonnet. Just the talent around him will make those numbers go up if the play is there. But I believe that the play is even going to step up even a bit further for Geno Smith. And the big thing I'm watching for of what he needs to improve that has my attention is the short passing game. That specifically. He was the best deep ball passer in the league. And in medium range, he was decent. But the short passing game, behind the line of scrimmage, Geno struggled and was near the bottom half in almost every category when it came to the short passing game. So that's what I'm watching for. His next step. We hear the consistency from Pete Carroll. But from Coach Jones, what am I saying? I'm looking at the short passing game, and I think that's very fixable. So, do you believe in Geno Smith? We do here at Seahawks Today. We're big Geno Smith fans. We love Geno around here. But what about you? Be real with me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Our pinned comment today. Do you believe in Geno? B for believe. D for don't. I want to spam those B's in the chat. Get it in there. Show some love for Geno Smith, and let us know what you think in the comment section below. A chip on their shoulder, according to SI's Albert Breer, in a great article that he did this week in the Monday Morning Quarterback on the Seahawks heading into 2023. He made it very clear that talking to several different players and coaches, the feeling around this Seahawks organization heading into this season is that they certainly have something to prove, that there are a lot of doubters out there. It's a young football team, and that they feel like that they have something to put out there, kind of an us against the world mentality of sorts, if you want to call it that. Here's more from Geno Smith. Who wants to be an alpha dog on the team? You've got Bobby Wagner, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, myself, Jarran Reed. So many alphas. It's crazy. The night before, I'm like, I need to get some sleep early, like 8:30, 9, because if I don't get up at 5 a.m. and get out of my house at 5:15, somebody else is going to beat me to the weight room. That's just the culture of our team at this point. You know, I'll put it this way. It's a Mamba mentality of what we're seeing. These guys are making each other better. And you go back to 2022. This team played with something to prove. As everybody said, it was a rebuilding year. This team's too young. What are they going to do without Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner? And what'd they do? They won 9 games and went to the postseason. Now is not the time to back down. You take that energy you had last year and use it to your advantage again. And I heard Geno mention the alphas on this team. I think we got to shout out the other alphas as well. And in my definition, when I think about an alpha that comes to this football team, I'm thinking of a veteran that is physical, that puts up, doesn't shut up, that's a leader. They got these alphas here, okay? You got to earn being an alpha. And I look at Bobby, of course, DK, Tyler Lockett, Geno. Those guys are dogs. Those are alphas. Okay, all right? Jarran Reed, as Geno mentioned there. Draymond Jones comes in, and Draymond Jones has been a force to be reckoned with already. What about Uchenna and Nwosu as well? Uchenna's not backing down to anybody. He is not fearful of anything. And then, of course, you can't talk alphas without mentioning the true alpha in Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs has been kind of the most outspoken guy of sorts for this Seahawks team this offseason. The way that he's stepped up and been a voice for this team, he's an alpha. This team, they got the young cats, but the alphas are there too. So, with that said, this team having something to prove, let's sip on the haterade for a second. Just show you what other people are saying about this Seahawks team. The over-under, according to our guys in the desert, is at 8.5 wins. Now, you don't have to take my betting advice, but I can tell you I am hammering the over on the Seahawks winning 8.5 games or more. I think that's very doable. I think that's easy money. And I can understand the disrespect. You might be saying to yourselves, like, man, they can do better than 8.5 wins. Fox Sports, in their win projection, put the Seahawks at 10-7, which, with all these improvements the Seahawks made this year, only 1 win difference. I think they've improved more than 1 win. SI's All Seahawks put the Seahawks at 11-6. That's more reasonable, I think. Field goals, the Seahawks SB Nation site, they also said 11-6. But then the disrespect. Even those within the media covering this team disrespecting the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I'm looking at you, 12th Man Rising. 7-10? I mean, that's ridiculous. I'd be pissed off, too, if I was Bobby and Geno and those guys. So, yeah, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Vegas, their own media, they doubt them. They say they can't do it. This team's going to go out there and ball, and I think you're going to like what you see from the Seahawks in 2023. Predict the Seahawks record for me in the comments section. Okay, stand up, show some love for your Seattle Seahawks. I don't want to hear it from those guys at field goals in Vegas. They don't know ball, clearly. Predict the Seahawks record. It's going to be better than 7 or 8 wins like those haters are saying. Go put your bets down. It's going to be more than 8.5. Weigh in. Tell me what you think. Predict the Seahawks record in 2023 and let me know how you feel. Folks, you will not want to miss out. Coming up on Saturday night, our Seahawks and Cowboys watch party. We'll get things started about an hour prior to kickoff with our pregame show. Myself, Tyler Smith, Smitty, we will be here with you, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to do some giveaways, some super chat contests. It is going to be a dandy. If you've never been a part of our watch parties before, your mind's about to be blown. I can tell you that much. You are in for a treat when we're going to have a few drinks on hand, analyze the game in real time. It is down to be a great time coming up on Saturday night. You will not want to miss it. We're battling our Cowboys channel. Tom Downey, friend of the show, but he's an enemy this week. We want to stick it to Tom and show that Seahawk fans, the 12s, are the best fans in the NFL, not those fake America's team fans. So much for being America's team, right? Show me those playoff wins there in Dallas. What do you have to root for, right? Subscribe now to the channel. Let's beat the Cowboys. Reporting subs this week. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe for free today. One final note before we go. Let's hit on Devon Witherspoon. As Pete Carroll said that Devon Witherspoon will be the team's starting nickelback this season. Fortunately, he's not joining that awful band. This is a position on the football field that he'll be sliding into. And I'll say this, the kind of expectation was when you drafted Devon Witherspoon, you used the number 5 pick on him, well, he's going to start at outside corner to Tariq Woolen, right? They're going to be opposite of each other. Wrong. And the reason why this is the case, Devon Witherspoon didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but Mike Jackson's been so good, okay? We heard from Pete Carroll say during the offseason programs that Mike Jackson was the MVP this offseason for the Seahawks, that he has been all that in a bag of chips. And now you got Kobe Bryant playing the safety spot. And going into camp, the idea was that Kobe Bryant would be the nickelback. But this decision makes a lot of sense for Seattle. If Kobe is going to play safety, and if Mike Jackson's still playing at a high level, you don't need to punish him and demote him when he's doing a good thing. This is a win, I think, for all parties involved. Devon Witherspoon one day will be a starting outside corner, but it doesn't have to be right now. Witherspoon, his offseason, started out getting drafted number 5 overall by the Seahawks out of Illinois. And he was one of the top standouts of OTAs and rookie minicamp for Seattle. He really showed up and showed out and did everything that was asked of him in those offseason programs over the last couple of months when he got the opportunity there. And then on top of that, besides just being a standout at OTAs and rookie minicamp, the big story to begin training camp that caught people's attention was when he held out the first few days of training camp. And that didn't make some folks happy with how he handled things there, as there was a disagreement about when his bonus would get paid. Ultimately, it got settled. He came in, got to work right away, and looked really good. He did suffer a non-serious hamstring injury in practice recently, but it doesn't seem like it should be an issue that lingers on for Devon Witherspoon. So, weigh in and tell us, is it the right call to start Witherspoon at nickel instead of outside corner? I think it's the right call for now. This could change later. He might be the starting outside corner later on the season, but for now, nickelback, I think that's fine. What do you think? Weigh in, tell us what you think in the comment section. Y for yes, in for no, if this is the right call for Seattle to start Witherspoon at that spot. Hit me up on social media for more Seahawks coverage, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there. I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.